All right, JJ Jackson. This is the battle of the century right here. At least we have land and noble hierarchs and noble hierarchs. We'll keep it. Oh, it's against blue deck. It's against blue deck. We've got a chance, guys. We've got a chance. We're finally got a chance. That flicker deck was actually pretty good. I hate to admit it, but I think that's a real deck now. Cool. We go into a turn 3 play too. So turn 2 on turn 3, whatever. Turn 3 on turn 2. Yep, that's the way that we're gonna go with it. Stomping ground. Yes. Noble hierarch. The noblest of the hierarchists. Alright, 2 blue. So this is either a storm deck or an infinite turn deck. I hope it's not an infinite turn deck. I hate playing against infinite turn decks. They make me want to, barf in my mouth. They make me want to barf in my mouth. I constantly have, I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast. Alright, you put one on top, and the other one you put on the bottom. Okay, so at least one of those cards, apparently, that you thought was pretty good. Bolts are kind of cool. Let's not play into the spell snare. The other option is we could actually just put out, a Nakatl and a Noble Hierarch. No, I like using all my mana. Let's see, do you have red and you're going to bolt my Knight of the Reliquary? I actually would be happier to see that you had red. Oh my god, you're a mono blue deck. Okay, mono blue. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't like it. Just putting that out there. I want to start firing off some of these bolts if humanly possible. I think we're going to put a Noble Hierarch into the board. And then we're just going to attack for 5. And start putting some bolts into this guy. If I've got 3 bolts in hand, I got to start using them. I'm just never going to get the mana to, not use them. Or to, use them consecutively. Yeah, so it's a forever draw a billion cards turn deck. So I'm going to go ahead and just start shooting bolts at this guy. Theoretically, we have 9 damage in hand, and that would put him at 6. Which then, a good draw will kill him off of. He did not draw an extra land? Alright, well, that's going to be pretty piss poor for him. If he exhausts me, I'll be kind of upset. But he's got to do it, let's see. More mana, sure. Take an extra draw here, then. Don't mind if I do. I guess he's gonna Giga Drowse. Sure. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw a bolt at you. I'm gonna tap my Knight instead. I'm gonna go get a fetch land. And then I'm gonna crack for the same exact land. Yes, that seems fine. So he targeted the same thing over and over again. Okay. Sure, fine by me. Go ahead, you Giga Drowsed. I will draw my extra card. Think the correct answer is just to put stuff on the board. Still. And we can either do a... I think we're going to do a just a Wild Nakatl. Again, we've got him at 6. I suppose he can start taking extra turns at this point, which would suck. So let's bolt him. And we've got the win here. Let's put out our land so that way we can plus. Cryptic Command, tap all, and draw a card. In response to that, let's just kill off this guy and grab a Stirring Wildwood, so that way that can't happen to us again. And just put more pressure on the board. That sounds peachy. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't want to do that. Let's go ahead and put it Ooze in the board, so that way I can start like eliminating things like Cryptic Command, Giga Drowse, and whatnot. The next turn he can't Cryptic Command me because I'll just float mana and then attack with my Stirring Wildwood for the win. Well, not quite for the win, but pretty close for the win. I don't care if he spends mana on trying to like Serum Visions or Sleight of Hand to try to find like continuation spells. Because I mean, if I can still Kessig Wolf run over and kill him. I draw a Bolt at any point, he's dead. I draw more mana, he's dead, because it takes 1, 2, this to float. So I need to play 2 lands. I don't know, we got a pretty good thing here. If we get like a Thalia next go around after we sideboard, we're doing pretty good. Also, the one of Get Octag like just wrecks him. Let's go ahead and eat the Giga Drowse. That's what I'm the most worried about. Because Cryptic Command I can at least like play around. Temporal Mastery's in the graveyard. Sure, that's not getting it's not getting renewed anytime soon. Yeah, we didn't draw any if I drew like a Noble Hierarch or something, then we would have played it. But we didn't, so we're just gonna go to combat. See if he's got any more tricks for us. Cryptic Commands. Look at that. Turn permanent you can owner's control, as well as tap everything down. Seems good. I think I will float that mana to at least eat something like, I don't know, Cryptic Command. That's gonna tap my team down. It's gonna put that back into my hand. I'm trying to think if I want to fetch with my knight. I'm not entirely sure I do, because then I have to choose a color to get rid of, basically. Well, I guess get rid of white. I've got white here. So I will do so, just to thin out my library. And I believe can't really do a ton else, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss that back to my hand. Play the shit out of it. He can't really do anything aside from Cryptic Commanding me. So I guess I should have eaten more of his stuff, but I floated it and eat it, but I messed up. I mess up a lot, guys, so, you know, if you're watching this to, like, learn stuff, don't. Just don't. I should just have enough committed on the board. I mean, he can Giga Drowse me, I guess, so I should commit more onto the board. 1, 2, 4, 5. He can Giga Drowse for 5, which would stop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can still then attack for, if he does it for 6, I can attack with this. Let's put something on the board. Just say, look, we're gonna kill you if you don't do something with this. This way he has to tap this guy down anyways. We have him on a 1-turn clock, but at this point he can start chaining the spells of turn taking. So sure, we'll give him a chance to do it. I ain't got nothing else I can do here. I'm gonna go ahead and pause just because this is like the most boring stuff to do ever. So you guys can see the end result. Okay, apparently he couldn't keep going, so alright, we're gonna take it. We'll do our extra draw. We'll put out the Horizon Canopy. It's not like thinning our deck is really going to help us here. Go for the attacks. Horizon Canopy can maybe get us into a Bolt. Cryptic Command. Sure. Again, we'll float that and we'll eat Time Warp. We'll kill this Plains. Search ourselves a fetch land into Sacred Foundry. Say no. We'll tap this. We'll put out a Wooded Foothills to break down into a forest. Then we'll use some mana to eat the other Cryptic Command. We'll eat more with Temporal Mastery. I'm okay with these being 2/2. I mean, he's so low on life anyways. I don't really care. And we'll return that back into our hand. I guess I can't now go for another Stirring Wildwood, but you know, it's not the worst in the world because we've eaten already 2 of his Cryptic Commands. I'd rather draw the card anyways, so that way I can cast Bolt. Bolt? No, it's Lexodon Smiter. Okay. And I guess we will end the turn here. Sure. You know, it's weird I didn't draw into a Pride Mage ever to, like, blow that up. Well, gonna pause again just because... Okay, we're back. We lost part the waterfalls. Not that I really care to go into it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring in the Thalias, and we're gonna bring the Gedok tags. We're gonna keep in the Oath of Nissas as they can find us, Pride Mages, as well as this. Voice of Resurgence is pretty good here. Ooze is alright. This stuff is pretty marginal, but it speeds up the game. Domries are not super great. Theoretically, Paths are good here, but probably not that great. Domries just fight and draw. That's nothing we need here. We need damage output, really. So, I guess Fracturing Gust is okay. It's better than Path to Exile is, in all seriousness. And I'd rather take out another Path to Exile to put in something like, I don't know, Hushwing Griff. So something that deals damage. Maybe Sigarda. That seems good. That seems perfect. This seems like a terrible, 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 terrible hand. This seems like a very much better hand. I'll keep this. I will put that on top, hardcore, not fetch that, and I would like to pay the 2 life. Yes, I would. Turns out. Cool. Now I have another play, like a turn something or other play. Although maybe I should put a speed into like the bigger stuff by going with Oath of Nissa. Let's crack this too, just so that we have better options. I'll go ahead and take the damage, because if I draw into a Wild Nacatl, I prefer it. Yeah, Wild Nacatl's probably our best bet. That lets us have more damage output eventually. But I think I want the Wild Nacatl. Rather than the land, which is meh. The Noble Hierarch, which is meh. This seems like it's going to do more damage over the long run. Since we're basically racing anyways. And let's go ahead and just attack. I would love to get Arlen Cord out, but it's not hugely relevant right now. I'd prefer to put the Kidduck tag out more than anything else. He didn't have a cantrip beforehand, so alright, Howling Mine. Maybe it's a land? Shoot, cool, it's a land. Again, I don't have to worry too much about putting the Gedok out just yet. So, Knight is the better card. And next turn, even if I don't draw a land, I can Gedok and Bolt. So, pretty much all of his deck costs 4 or more. He can't even bounce the Gedok tag. Realistically. Let's go ahead and play that Knight of the Rookery. I'm pretty sure I've got, like, end of damage now, especially once I put the Gedok tag to seal, like, you can't do anything really relevant next game, or next round. Gedok is randomly awesome in that situation. Forest, I'm going to put the Forest down. Just going to try to attack, because if I get the attack off, I win. And if he taps down like my Knight, then I can just Bolt. And then, like, make my library thinner. Thinner. Sure, Giga Drowse. Yeah, I was about to say, that's weird that he didn't, like, put it in the right order. Let's put a red out and bolt him in the face. Then we'll thin this out. I think we go for the Stirring Wildwood. It's probably our best bet. And then we put the Gedok tag out. Because this stops really Giga Drowse doing a ton for me. And then we put out... Let's Oath. Oh, yeah, that's right. I put out 2 of them. That's right. One of them dies. Fine with me. And I will take a Sigarda, I think. Maybe I put out the Nicodle, the wildest of the Nicodles. Just because he can't Giga Drowse everything I own. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, here's the card that like just beats your entire deck, dude. That's no Cryptic Command, no extra turns, no anything like that. The only thing he could possibly do is Temporal Mastery. And even then, I think Temporal Mastery's casting cost is still this, even though he's paying it for a miracle cost instead. So, because it's got a converted mana cost still. The converted mana cost isn't 2. So I don't think he can do anything. I think the only thing he can do now is Exhaustion. And the only thing he can do is Giga Drowse. Or play Dictate or Howling Mine. But that's not going to stop Lethal from happening next turn. Like, he may have sided in a bounce spell, but it's not the way he's winning. And if he's going ahead and leading with a Serum Visions here, it means that he doesn't have it. I mean, this is lethal. Just attacking with the Gadok tag and this, not to mention that I've got this to back me up. Yeah, there's no way he was winning after that Gadok tag. And sandbagging it was the correct choice because it gave me lethal. So, there's that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take a hand that has Gadok tag no matter what. So, I'm just going to go ahead and keep this. Even if I'm not going first, that just means I'm putting it out on turn 3 instead of turn 4. So, I'm like I said, I'm going to keep any hand that has a Gadok tag in it. Gadok Teague? I don't know. We'll start this off on a Sacred Foundry. We'll take the damage, and we're going to bolt you in the face. Not even going to wait. I suppose you could have a Remand, which would be fine. But let's put it out there. Even if you Remand, I can do it next turn. Gadok Teague is a huge thorn in his side. Let's go ahead and cast the Knight right now. Or do we want to cast the Ooze and Bolts? We probably cast the Knight. It does 3 damage, so in the long run it does more damage. I can cast the Bolt whenever. Just so this way he can't, like, Giga Drowse my lands. I think you can Giga Drowse lands, right? Right? I think you can Giga Drowse lands? I'm assuming you can Giga Drowse lands. If he remands this, I mean, like, I don't really care. That's fine. He's probably going to Dictate, is what he's going to do. But this Gadok is huge. There's just no real good way that deck deals with the Gadok tag. I'm sorry for having that up there. I gotta figure out a way to disable that on my firewall. It likes to tell me every single time. I suppose that's good. Then I know if someone's trying to sneak a peek on me. I mean, if he flashes in a Snapcaster, that could have been, like, terrible. But he didn't. So he didn't play it. He didn't play it that either. So if he doesn't have a Dictate, then Howling Mine maybe he has, and he's just holding on to it till he can start chaining it? I don't know. That seems like a bad option too. Sure, Howling Mine. Let me draw cards. I'm okay with that. At this point, you're not taking extra turns. You're just letting me draw cards. Elspeth seems perfectly reasonable. The only reason I'm hesitant of putting out Elspeth, like, right away is because I want to maybe keep a Lightning Bolt up against a, what do you call it? A Vendilion Click or something along those lines. The other option I could do is I can just put out Elspeth, jump my Knight, and just attack with only the knight, which also sounds like an option that I'm willing to go after. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, the other option is I can actually just put out. I could also just put out like Knight of the Reliquary. Although he can't do anything right now, he's tapped out. Derp, he's tapped out. It's not like I'm looking at his mana and I'm like, oh yeah, he's tapped out. It's not happening. Oh, I can't cast it as well. Haha. Okay, this is the first time I've actually ever ran into that problem. But I'm perfectly fine with this. Let's go ahead and just attack then. It's still 5 damage, putting him down to like half his life total. And then, I guess end of turn, we can bolt, but I'd rather keep the bolt in hand. Just again for Snapcasters or Vendilion clicks, which this deck has been known to run occasionally. He could be trying to find his way into a Snapcaster or Vendilion click. I'm trying to think if I'm okay with losing Gadok Tag, and I don't think I ever am happy with losing Gadok Tag. I think we just attack, and if he plays it, then we bolt, right? And that's that. Not only that, I can make these guys 5 damage on their own, so I don't think... Sure, fine with me. I just won't play the bolt. Again, yeah, Exhaustion was one of those cards that I knew existed. I mean, this still puts him at, like, nearly dead, so I don't really care. And he's got almost no cards that can interact with my Gadok Tag aside from, like, Exhaustion, which just delays the inevitable. Doesn't actually stop it. And he can Exhaustion all he wants. Eventually, he's not going to have any more Exhaustions. Like, if I get to untap with my crew, then he's dead. Alright, I get to untap with my crew. That generally means you are dead. Oh, I'm going to attack all in here. He's only got 5, which means he could probably put out 2 blockers. But if he puts out 2 blockers, and one of them gets blocked here, I still win the game because I deal 4 damage, it's 8, and then I bolt him. So, yeah, just attack all out here. I have no reason not to. Okay, so he was just putting up a top front. Congratulations, we beat it! Yay! Gadok Tag is the best! That's the reason, actually, why he's in that sideboard, mind you. It's just randomly, he shuts off, like, these corner case scenarios that show up. Plus a couple good ones, like Scape Shift. So, cool. We got it.